I've been trying to get to this video for a while. Reggie Jackson was in, I think, Paul George's event. I think it was like a basketball camp and all that type of stuff. And he said that his time in Detroit, you know, Pistons was going to make him retire. He said the Pistons was going to make him retire, said the organization wouldn't have success. They went to playoff one time. He wasn't happy. It took the joy out of basketball, along with a lot of the injuries. You know, and I remember he got traded here, man. The only reason he got traded here is because Brandon Jennings went down. For those who remember, Brandon Jennings went down. You know, and we was on a hell of a run with Brandon Jennings. Like Stan Van Gundy couldn't wait for Brandon Jennings to get the hell up out of there or get injured. Because he ran and traded for Reggie Jackson quickly. And I don't know, I can't remember to gauge the fans, but I didn't like the trade. Wasn't a Reggie Jackson fan. It wasn't nothing personal. But, you know, when he got here, that's, you know, the league was just converting 100% over to combination guards. Whatever it was, Joe Dumars, you know, he loved combination guards. Like Ben Gordon, Rodney Stuckey, Chauncey Billups. And Chauncey was one of the very few combination guards that learned to learn to be an actual point guard. He usually don't work out. And Reggie Jackson just never really learned to run a team. You remember when they had broke that like 18, 20 game losing streak, and Reggie was playing around, and Blake Griffin looked at him like he was on crack or some shit, man. He said, you know, you really celebrating this shit, man, pouring water on niggas' head like we won the championship or whatever. You know? So, I mean, like I said before, when you losing, it ain't fun. Especially when he was making all that money, you know, and he said the criticism from the fans was getting to him and stuff of that nature, and that it can happen. Most definitely, it can happen, bro. It can happen. It can happen like that. And he said Paul George was the reason he didn't retire from the NBA. He said he's my lifeline. He said I really was gonna walk away. You had John Wall make the comments like, I'm making the same money as Reggie Jackson making. So that couldn't have been fun for him neither. They both teammates right now. But I think they was trying to turn Reggie Jackson into a pure point guard, and that just wasn't him. And the role that he's in LA Clippers, which they beat us last year when they came to the Little Caesars. I went to that game. I went for my birthday. That's who he really is. He's a scorer. He's a two guard. He's a guy that he ain't really no spot up shooter. He can, but he's a guy that can get his own shot. He's a shot getter. That's what makes it so good for him in LA. He can just be himself. He can just go out there and do what he do. He can score. He can score and worry about passing later. In Detroit, they tried to make him into a pure point guard. They're notorious for that. Brandon Jennings, it worked because that's who Brandon Jennings was. Yes, Brandon Jennings scored like 50, 60 points one time. He could score. But Brandon Jennings really was a guy who can, he loved to pass the ball. And that wasn't Reggie Jackson's game. And I just think, you know, we traded for him, we paid him, and there was a lot of expectations that was put on his plate to go out there and perform. And they was trying to make him something that he really wasn't, bro. You know, you got to remember, too, in Orlando, when Stan Van Gundy was in Orlando, you got to remember that Hedo Turkoglu was the real point guard. He let Jameer Nelson just be Jameer Nelson. Hedo Turkoglu was the real point guard. And I think that's kind of what he's trying to find in Detroit. You know, he's trying to find Detroit. He's trying to make Reggie Jackson that pure point guard, and that just was never going to be Reggie Jackson. And I think that had a lot to do. That had a lot to do with some of the failures in Detroit. That he was playing a position that wasn't him. And now you look at it, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the line, whatever it's been, that's the new norm in the game. You know, Steph Curry ain't really no point guard. He's a combo guard. And they allow him to be Steph Curry. Do what you do, score, shoot, move it out the basket, then worry about passing. I told y'all, I say this all the time, people think I be joking, but if Rodney Stuckey was in this era of basketball, he would thrive. And there was a lot of guys that tried to make that tried to convert from being scoring guards to point guards, and it didn't work. Chauncey was one of the few guys that was able to do it. I can't think of nobody else that really did it. And now the NBA said, forget it, bro. Just go out there, ball out, do what you do. Don't worry about scoring. We let the Bronze facilitate. We let those type of guys. You see, Garland is succeeding. You know what I'm saying? They trying to do the same thing with Kobe White in Chicago. They trying to make him a point guard. You know, they trying to make him a pure point. And he's just a dude that can go get a bucket. You know, Ben Gordon. He was just a dude that can, off the bench, that can go get a bucket. Jamal Crawford, go get a bucket. A lot of these kids, a lot of these guys, they try to make that. You got to unlearn everything you learn, and then you got to, they're paying tentative and should I pass, should I shoot? Chauncey Billups, Larry Martin, whoever it was, they converted Chauncey Billups to teach a course on how they did that, along with Chauncey Billups, and you know what I'm saying. But a lot of these dudes are just they scores now. We gonna go get it. Don't worry about facilitating. We let the Draymonds facilitate. You know what I'm saying? So, pure points is a dying breed, bro. You got what? Ricky Rubio, Rajon Rondo, Chris Paul. Now the new guards is Luka Doncic, Trae Young, and it's gonna be interesting to see if they're able to win a championship without facilitating. It's different for Curry because he got Draymond Green. They got a great ball movement system. It's gonna be interesting, but yeah, it's crazy, man. Detroit, sports was in a dark place around that time, and it's starting to come out of a dark place. It looked like. So I don't blame Reggie Jackson. He just he got traded here. He took the money. I know people will say, "Oh, shame on him. He got $80 million. The bitch can play." But you gotta understand, when your passion, you get the criticism that he got. And it wasn't all on him. It was most on Stan Van Gundy. Reggie Jackson, in L.A., he allowed to be himself. Yes, it's a smaller role, but it's a role that's fit for him. Just go out there and be Reggie Jackson. Detroit couldn't be Reggie Jackson. And that's what took the fun out of it. Just wasn't losing, trying to run the team, and that just wasn't him. He's a scorer. So shout out to Reggie Jackson. I'm happy he's doing good. I'm happy to see anybody that's doing good, bro. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, you happy to see anybody doing good. You love it. You just wait on your turn, your number call. So just want to be supportive. Shout out to Reggie Jackson. Hopefully happy he found solace there. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop a video. Finance, you want to support the channel. Cash App, $CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal in the description. Hit the link tree, find me on Twitter, Twitch. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Venmo, Cash App, Spotify, and Anchor. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.